Most people have heard about Sam Bankman-Fried, they've heard about Alameda, they've heard about FTX, but what a lot of people don't understand is just how deep the FTX contagion runs. Today, we're going to be digging deeper into just how big of an impact the Bitcoin mining industry, and thus obviously Bitcoin miners and Bitcoin investors, and really Bitcoin users, will see due to this fallout. I think that this video will shock you, it will surprise you. Some of the biggest players in the world in Bitcoin mining are on the brink of bankruptcy. Without further ado, my name is Voskcoin on the Voskcoin YouTube channel. Let's dig into it. So here's a big kicker. Alameda Research invested $1.15 billion in crypto miner Genesis Digital. Alameda Research invested $1 billion of customer funds. Really, probably, most likely, or it's just, that's crazy. People are wondering, where did the $8 billion plus go? Well, this could be where one of those billions simply went. SBF was consulted on the capital injection, right? Genesis Digital Assets, biggest venture investment made by Alameda Research, FTX's sister company, or really just one of the ways that they commingled all of these funds. Genesis Digital is different than Genesis Capital. Genesis Capital is basically Genesis Trading, which has $175 million worth of funds locked on FTX. Genesis Digital is this mining initiative, separate company, period, right? Last year, Genesis Digital raised a total of $556 million through 2 separate funding rounds to fuel its aggressive growth plans. And some of the funds sought to purchase 20,000 Bitcoin miners from Canaan. And basically, in recent times, electricity prices have soared to really record highs, and Bitcoin mining profitability are, in recent history, record lows. Genesis Digital, this Genesis mining company, it's in the name. You may be familiar if you've been around in crypto for a while. Genesis Mining, they really went quiet. You heard all about them in 2017, 2018. And then they used those terms, they cut those contracts, they stopped paying out everything. And they kept hashing away. Genesis Mining is here alive and kind of well. They're the ones who received this $1 billion of funding from Alameda Research, or really just FTX. A while ago, we toured a major Bitcoin mining farm. Pretty cool, pretty crazy, pretty overwhelming, pretty eye-opening. Yeah, that was CORZ Scientific, one of their facilities. Shares of CORZ Scientific since they've gone public, CORZ, fallen about 80%. Just in the past week when this article was written a couple months ago. I say it like that to illustrate how much this stock fell so quickly. Bitcoin miner CORZ Scientific issues bankruptcy warning. The stock is down 97% for the year. Ow. Troubled Bitcoin miner CORZ Scientific says reserves dropped in October. That's several months ago now. The firm's holding declined to 62 from 8,497 Bitcoins in March of 2022. They're warning they can run out of cash by year end. You're probably wondering, when CORZ Scientific had their SPAC, their special purpose acquisition company, right? Basically, they went public with a SPAC, simply. They're valued at $4.3 billion. And now and at the time of this article, they had a market cap of $55 million. Where did the billions go? Well, don't worry, we spent a couple millions in private jets, which I believe was only second to Meta, if my data holds up true here. Basically, CORZ Scientific almost spent more money in private jets than any other company. Mike Levitt, I think you got a little full of yourself.
Hey guys, it's Miss Vosk here to tell you about today's video sponsor, PunkPanda. PunkPanda offers a suite of free encrypted apps that allows you to earn passive income in crypto. Right now, PunkPanda has one app live, the Panda app, which is similar to WhatsApp or Telegram. PunkPanda says the app is so secure that the company doesn't even have access to data or messages. By using the app, users get rewarded in PunkPanda tokens. Their website has a video that explains more about the app. You'll need an invite code, which we'll drop in the description below. Users can also purchase their token, PPM, directly from the PunkPanda farm. They also have a staking feature called PunkPanda Farm, where users can stake PPM tokens and swap or purchase other tokens without fees. This feature is not currently available in the US. Be on the lookout for more PunkPanda apps coming soon. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research before investing.
Looking at current mining profitability on Bitcoin per Luxor here, it's 7 cents per kilowatt hour. Antminer S19 XP, $3.20 a day. What's Miner M50, $1.20 a day. Antminer S19J Pro, $1 a day. You go down the list, you start losing money with some of these other miners. Again, it's not super profitable to be Bitcoin mining right now. The crypto mining stock index that they have has ticked up a little bit, which is good to see. It's kind of in line with Bitcoin increasing in the last 24 hours of me, recording this video right here. But when you zoom out, we are down dramatically over the last year. BlockFi has filed for bankruptcy, which we talked about in another video. But why am I bringing it up here again, other than the fact that it haunts many of my thoughts? Well, great question. It's because that BlockFi offered a solution for miners and exchanges and ATMs per this page here. But the point is, grow your mining business with equipment-backed loans. Okay, talk about how BlockFi is going to be in a worse situation here as mining rigs have absolutely just crumbled in value over the last year. But on the flip side, BlockFi was a viable option for many mining farms to seek financing in a sector where they struggle so heavily for any financing. Well, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, okay? They won't be issuing any more mining loans, at least not right now, which makes you wonder, makes you think, right? How will this impact the Bitcoin mining sector moving forward? We talked about this in a recent video, but let's bring it up real quick. Iris BTC mining. We look at the news. They're facing a default claim of $103 million. They're basically just defaulting and giving this equipment back on these loans instead of paying it because the equipment has depreciated so much. It's a better move for them to do that and basically cut their losses, if you will, than come up with the money to pay this off and then thus basically fully buy and acquire this devalued equipment. It's a very weird, difficult, trying time for many people in the world, but especially Bitcoin miners in the crypto space. Too many mining farms grew too fast, too much debt, too much just big time investment, not the best energy rates, and just not the right people steering these ships. And I've been really critical of major mining farms for a while now, if you subscribe to the Voskcoin YouTube channel, because what makes Bitcoin so incredible is proof of work. It is mining, but mining is incredible on a smaller scale, on a medium scale, not several major players, right? Core Scientific alone has about 30 exahash of SHA-256 hash rate. Okay, that means that they have about 15% of Bitcoin's network. That's like crazy, way too much, scary. And I don't wish bad on others, and I don't want, others to go bankrupt and this and that, whatever. There's making mistakes and there's negligent scamming, right? SBF, astonishing that he's not in jail. It's absolutely just corruption. Okay, Sam Bankman-Fried, scam, bank run, fraud. All right, but, my point is that it's not that I want all these big Bitcoin miners to go up in flames. I prefer that they didn't exist, yes. But, this is going to get a lot worse before it gets better, to put it one way. There's going to be a lot of excess hardware that's going to be sold real cheap. And, because that's just, the market creates the value, what it's worth. And these miners are cheap to produce. Bitmain and all these other Bitcoin miner manufacturers wouldn't have you believe that, but they're very cheap to produce. The R&D, yeah, it's heavy. But anyway, the point is that Bitcoin miners are crumbling across the board throughout the world, facing heavier regulation, higher electricity costs, lower Bitcoin prices, and this will lead to additional selling pressure. It has already realized additional selling pressure. For example, just Core Scientific alone has unloaded 8,000 Bitcoins just because of all of this negative pressure on them as a miner, right? And so this will lead to further just unwinding, this term that's been used a lot recently, of Bitcoin. Speaking of the other Genesis trading, which is in association with DCG, Grayscale, and their GBTC, they could unwind the GBTC shares and basically dump thousands and thousands and thousands of Bitcoin on the market, leading to additional sell pressure, which will mean that mining in the short term is even less profitable. So there's just a lot of bad news, a lot of bad things on the horizon that could unfold. But, you know, it's pretty dark. How close are we to the bottom? It really depends how a couple of these scenarios go. It's always darkest before dawn. That's all I got. That's the situation. That's where we're at. It's really not good news, but it is news. And that's all I got here on the Voskcoin YouTube channel, which is led by our CNO, our Chief News Officer. That's going to be the cutie pup Tails, our resident Shiba Inu and Dogecoin here. Did you know, fun fact, Doge is the second most profitable coin to mine in the world now that Ethereum is no longer mineable, and by a pretty significant margin. If you like fun facts, subscribe to the channel. If you don't like fun facts, subscribe to the channel. That means you have to subscribe no matter what. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Also, sorry I sound terrible. I'm still trying to get over this cold. It's been beating the crap out of me.